Hello everyone, and welcome to your first Java lesson. In this lesson we are going to be focusing on installing the Java Development Kit and setting up our computer so that we can properly write, compile, and run Java code. So, to begin, go to your web browser and open up a new tab. We are going to search JDK, which is Java Development Kit. This is what every Java developer uses to write Java code. So, you want to go for Java SE 8. That is the one we want. We want JDK 8. And find the one that corresponds with your operating system. So I'm running a 64-bit Windows system. We're going to click that and download it. Save it somewhere you find convenient. It will ask you to sign into an Oracle account. If you do not want to create one or you do not already have one, you can reach out to me and I can send you the installer. But I already have an Oracle account, so it did not ask me for that. So once it is finished installing, we can go to our downloads folder. Here it is. And we can go ahead and open it. Oops. Click yes. If you are not an administrator, you will have to ask your parents to type in their password so that you can run the installer, which I am an administrator. It's not an issue for me. Click next. And we are going to ask for development tools and source code. Okay, we can click next. And it only takes a second. Okay, we are done. We can click close. Okay. Now the next thing we need to do is register the Java Development Kit so that our computer recognizes its presence. You'll notice that if you open up your command prompt and you try to run Java C, that is the Java compile command, it says it's not recognized. So we need to fix that issue. Open up command prompt, open up File Explorer, click this PC. We want to go to the C drive, go Program Files, Java, JDK, bin, and we want to copy that path. Go ahead and copy that. You can see this has all the Java binaries, including Java C, which is the Java compiler. So now we want to go this PC, right-click it, click Properties, and when the Properties window is open, go to the right and click Advanced System Settings, Environment Variables, and under System Variables, find the one called Path. That is the one we are working with here. Click Edit, New, and put in your path variable right there. There we go, we have it. Click OK on all of those. And now, when we open up our command prompt and try running the Java compile command, you will see that the Java compiler is recognized, so we have successfully set that up. Now the next thing we need to do is make it so that we can view file extensions. You may already have this feature enabled, but most Windows computers have it disabled by default. So you can see this file has no extension, neither does this one or this one. Well, that's a folder, so it doesn't count. But to do that, open up Windows Explorer. You can also, if you don't have it bookmarked like I do, you can just search for it here, File Explorer. Go to the View tab, click Options, click the Other View tab, and then where it says Hide Extensions for Known File Types, just make sure you uncheck that box. Okay, you can see this has a... Oops, it did not work. I did something wrong. Go back. Uncheck that box. There we go. See, this has an extension now, .xml, .yaml, .schematic, etc. So, now that we have extensions shown, we are all set. We can say right-click, new text file, and we are going to call this hello, and instead of .txt, we're going to delete that and say .java, because this is a Java program. Click yes. It should create a new Java file. I already have it associated with Notepad, so if I open it, I will get this. If you try to open it, it's going to ask you, similar to if I try to open this, it's going to give you this prompt. You just want to click More Apps and select Notepad. So, yes, once you get it set up with Notepad, it opens in Notepad. Yay! Now we can start writing the code. So, for our first program, we are keeping it plain and simple. I can explain this later, but for now, just follow my example. Say public class hello. Do a curly brace, press enter, do a closing curly brace, put a line in the middle, press tab, type public static void main. We're going to do parentheses, type string, brackets, args, or arguments, and then do another curly brace at the end of that. We're going to do a new line, press tab, closing curly brace, put a line between that, double tab, and now we are going to write system.out.println, which stands for print line, do parentheses, semicolon, double quotes, or I should say 2 double quotes, and then type hello world with an exclamation mark. The tab key, just in case you do not know, is right above the caps lock key on the left. That's how I do the indentation like this. So that's where that is located, if you did not know. Now we can say file, save, and I will explain this all in a second, but I just want to show you how to compile it. So, file, save, close it. Okay, and now we're going to open up our command prompt. There's 2 ways you can do it for this context. You can hold shift and right click. There should be a button there that says open command window here, and you can see it opens it to our desktop. The other way we can do it is open CMD from start menu, and we can say CD desktop, which will just take us to the desktop. Oops. Once you got your command window open and you are in your desktop directory, you type javac hello.java. And so what this does is it runs the javac command, which is the Java compiler, and it passes it the argument, it passes it the file hello.java as an argument. And what the Java compiler will do is load this file, compile all the code, and put it into a new file called hello.class. So let's go ahead and run the command. And you'll see that a new file appears, hello.class. A class file is a compiled Java code file. If you try to open one, you'll see that it is no longer pretty and legible like our source code here. See, source code pretty and legible, class file ugly and illegible, cannot be read because it's compiled code. However, the Java virtual machine can read it. So if we type Java hello, we do not have to say .class. We just say hello because it's already been compiled. You'll see that the Java virtual machine loaded in our class, interpreted the code, the compiled code I should say, and successfully ran it. And we got our hello world right here. We can view this side by side with the code that we wrote. You can see that what it printed in the console is what we put in these double quotes. So, system.out, that represents the console window. Well, not necessarily the window, but the console that is linked to our Java program. So when we say system.out.println, it's going to print whatever we put inside of those double quotes to the console. And println means that after it prints that, it's going to make a new line. That's why we have this empty space right here. You can also just say print. Let me use my mouse here. You can also just say print, which is not going to put a line right there. It's just going to say hello world, and then it's going to terminate. But the Java convention is just like a way that people do things. It's the expected way of doing things. The convention is to type print line. Every Java program has a main method. That's what this public static void main is. And it is always the first thing that runs when you run a Java program. So Java will load your program, it will look for the main method, and then it will run it. So that's all you need to know, is that the main method is the first thing that will run in every Java program. So anything that goes between these 2 curly braces is going to be the first thing that runs. In this case, it's just going to be a simple hello world to the console. Class. Public class hello. You want the name of your class to correspond to the name of the file that it is in. So our file is called hello.java. The class is going to be called hello. Oops. Come back here. A class in Java is basically a template. It tells Java how to construct an object, a virtual object, that can have whatever properties we want. In this case, it's constructing an object that contains a method called main. And that method contains a statement that tells Java to print hello world to the console. We can get more into this later on, and we will, but right now all you need to know is that a class is like a template. It tells Java how to construct a virtual object that it can manipulate. And in this case, the virtual object does one thing. It contains a method that prints hello world to the console. So that concludes our first lesson. We learned how to set up the Java Development Kit. how to configure our operating system to work with it, and how to write, compile, and run a Java program. I will release the next episode today as well so that we can move on to step 2. But that concludes things for this episode. So, thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.